Hi, I'm Tom. I'm a type 1 diabetic. I have been for 6 years now, since September 2005. I was 16 when I was diagnosed. I want to make a video showing a little bit about what my daily life is like with diabetes. I guess to start out, I should explain what diabetes is. It's where your body doesn't make insulin. Type 1 diabetes, at least, isn't where your body makes insulin. What is insulin? Basically, when you eat, there's three macronutrients that makes up what you eat. Fats, which is an extended form of energy. Protein, which helps repair muscle and other body tissue. And carbs, which is your main source of energy. Insulin is what enables the energy from the carbs to get into the cells to function properly. Alright, I just woke up. I already set it all up. You put a little test strip meter in here that tests your blood sugar, and then you have to put a little needle in this thing to poke your finger with. Sugar's 114, that's really good. Insulin take. How much insulin you take, well, at least how much insulin I take, is based upon how many carbs I eat. So basically, I probably should have filmed this, but I have to count all my carbs a lot of times if I'm making the food myself, which is usually easier. I can actually measure out and count all the carbs. This is what I had for breakfast. I had oatmeal, then I had a bagel, peanut butter, and then 2 glasses of milk. The oatmeal was 23 carbs, the bagel was 20, the peanut butter was 5, and the milk was 24. So add that up, it's 72-ish. Yeah. So the doctors, you and your doctors always come up with different ratios that you're supposed to use. Right now, I'm supposed to be doing 1 to 14 in the morning. What is that? 72, sorry, I can't film and type. Divided by 14. That says I should take 5 units of insulin. And 1 unit of insulin. This is an insulin pen. It has a dial. This is what I use. There's insulin pumps, which is different, but that's not what I have. A dial, at least this is 1 unit. You just do 1. An insulin pump, for simplicity sake, it just, you keep it on you, and it is constantly giving you insulin. You don't inject yourself like I am. I mean, it does more than that, but for the sake of this video, that's all it does. So, I'm supposed to take 5 units of insulin to cover this. However, this is why it's handy to write everything down. Past couple of days, I keep getting low blood sugar whenever I have that, or take that amount of insulin. Yesterday, at breakfast, I had about a little over 60 carbs, I think, and I only took 3 units, and a couple hours later, my blood sugar was getting low, and I had to eat more. So that's probably what I'll do today instead of the 5 units. Alright. So we did 3 units. You grab some fat. You just stick it in like that. 1, 2, 3. Let it sit for a second, make sure it actually comes out all the way. And that's it. So I just got back from running around and doing errands. Before I left, my blood sugar was high. When I was out, it started to get low, so I had to have a juice box. Okay, so I said earlier that your body uses carbs for energy, and insulin is what gives the cell that energy. What happens if you don't have enough insulin or too much? Well, okay. When you break down the food, when the carbs break down into sugar, it goes into your blood to get circulated around to the cells. When there's not enough insulin, it accumulates in the blood, causing high blood sugar. On the flip side, if there's too much insulin, you get low blood sugar. With me? Okay. When you get low blood sugar, usually you get like shaky and you're not really thinking very clearly. It's usually the same symptoms as being like drunk. So a lot of people who have been drinking or diabetic and get low blood sugar, people think they're just drunk. but they're not. They're really having low blood sugar. And what happens is when your blood sugar gets too low, you'll pass out, and then you can go into a coma. And I guess in worst case scenario, you can die. If the blood sugar is too high, it does damage to basically the little vessels inside your body that are real fragile, in the eyes, kidneys, pretty much everywhere. Yeah, I don't really like thinking or talking about it. The thing is constantly as a diabetic, just from eating and having insulin, your blood sugars are constantly going like this. And the key to diabetes is trying to find a balance and keeping your blood sugars in the middle, if you would, where they should be, just like if you weren't diabetic. So, I just finished dinner, and another challenge has presented itself. I feel like my stomach is a little sick. It's a little bit of a concern if I take insulin to cover my meal, and then if I get sick to my stomach and if I threw up or something, all that insulin will be sitting around with no food to take effect on. So my blood sugar will get low. Okay, I'm trying to show you taking insulin in my arm, so bear with me if I can't show this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you see it? There. Important thing at night is a lot of times when I'm asleep, my blood sugar drops. So I have to make sure I eat enough before I go to bed so I keep my blood sugar in a safe zone while I'm asleep. Every day is a different challenge. Every day is different, and it never goes away. I don't want to leave on a bad note or anything, but people always tell me, "Hey Tom, at least it's just diabetes and it's not like cancer." And I understand they're trying to be nice and positive, but it always kind of makes me angry. Not to say angry, but not to downplay cancer, but if you look at the cancer rates now, I mean, they're pretty good. Rates of remission are pretty high, but the rates of diabetes, not very good, not looking good for me. So, yeah. I sometimes wish I'd rather just have cancer and get it treated and be over it than have to deal with diabetes every day of my life. Torture. That's pretty much what it is. I did some math. I've been diabetic for 6 years. That's roughly 2,200 days, and that's a little over 52,000 hours. That's just me. That's one person for 6 years. There are currently about 25.8 million diabetics. So this is just my story. This is what I deal with, at least one day of it. Everyone has a different story, and they really need to work for better treatment and, I mean, ideally some sort of cure. Yeah. Thank you for watching.